afternoon, TEDxJibowu. Good afternoon, every one of you. Thank you so much for that warm welcome. This is my first TEDx talk. Yeah, TED Talk. Interesting. And, I asked my team in the office, I said, TED Talk is usually about summing up your life. What's the core of who you are? And I said, what do you think is at the core of who I am? And somebody stood up and said, Sandra always mimics you. That CMO says, at the core of who we are and at the core of what we do is growth. I just looked at her face and I was like, seriously? Then I asked every other person, and it was like it was, I think, a conversation that has happened behind my back in the office because it is who I represent. There is a common saying that there are two things that are sure in life. Benjamin Franklin said it, that death and taxes. I believe that in Nigeria, tax is not sure. What is sure is death, right? But on our journey to death is that we will all grow. The surest thing about life, aside from the fact that we will all die, is that before we die, everybody grows. Every human being. It is conscious and subconscious that we will all be growing. Who you were January 2022 is not the same person you are today. We are all growing. I'm of the opinion that growth is not involuntary, that growth can be intentional. And that is the core of my talk with you all today. Your growth can be intentional. In the first 25 years of our lives, we cannot choose nobody choose where they were born. If you had a choice, you would want to be born in Canada? Yes. When we were born, we had no choice as to where we were going to be born. We don't have a choice as to the hospital. Many of us did not choose our primary school. Neither could we choose secondary school. At university, I'm sure some of you were thinking you had a choice, right? In some cases, you don't even have a choice with secondary school. JAM will jam you to wherever JAM can jam you to. Your parents might say, I don't want you out of state. It might be life pushes you into a school, pushes you into a course. So what is the changed narrative? The changed narrative is regardless of whatever things that influenced you into who you are today, your next level of growth can be intentional. You can design your life. Aspire to perspire, Abby. We have come again. But the truth is, I'm not here to motivate you. I'm here to share with you my own story. As a young mother of twins who couldn't do makeup because I was carrying two babies, I watched TV and I felt, I can do this. I had no background in TV. I had no media experience. I didn't study mass comm. But I looked at what they were doing on TV. And they could talk. And I felt I could talk. So what did I do? I was intentional about my growth. And I went into the TV station. It might not be easy to try that right now. That's the truth. But I went into TVC when I saw a little clip of audition. And I didn't know what they were auditioning for. But I just felt I wanted to do this. I wanted to be able to express myself. And I went to the station, and I walked into an office. I did the audition. I noticed I was like the oldest person. Remember, I just had like a few months after having twins. So I was visibly, And I auditioned. I passed through the first stage. Then we got to the second stage. And everybody here been through audition before? Have you ever been in an audition? It's usually a large crowd of people, all of you outside in the sun. I felt this sun was really, really hot. So I walked into an office that I want to just chill. The office I walked into was the office of Murayo. And I had no idea who she was because the office looked like a reception area. So I sat down and I was gisting with her. Oh, I have these new 2 boys, twins. I'm here for audition. She said, they cannot pick you. Me. Aspire to perspire, number 1. I say, lie. There is nothing I set my mind to do, I cannot do. I am going to be picked. And so what happened? She told me, I like this conversation. I have another program we're working on that I think will be better suited for you. So she gave me a card, and I looked at it. Murayo Afolabi Brown, Deputy Director Programs, TVC. Apparently, that was a temporary office because they were renovating her office. And she was sitting down there. Your growth can be intentional when you refuse to take what life dishes at you as the reality going forward. Your growth can be intentional when ASU goes on strike and you tell yourself your knowledge will not end. Your growth can be intentional when you decide you want to get married and all these wedding dresses available was out of your budget. And you say you will still look fine. Your growth becomes intentional when you refuse to settle for less. It is extremely important that we realize that nobody is going to put it on your front and tell you, this is a TV show for you. No, you will make that move. In 2020, we all know what happened at NSAS, right? You know what I said? There are many things that happen to you that is not your choice. But what I'm here to tell you is, I choose my growth. That's my own philosophy. That's what I stand by. I choose my growth. Life can happen, but me, Tope Mark-Odigie, I choose my growth. And that is what I want to leave with you all. NSAS happened, and I was caught in a fire incident. I lost my car. I lost my makeup tools. I lost my camera. What I lost that day was like my career as a makeup artist because all my tools were in the car. And I looked at myself like, what are you going to do? Trust me, I cried. We're not going to form like, when life throws things at you, you will not shake. What I'm telling you is, what do you do after life happens? You choose your growth. So I looked at the journey and decided to choose where I was going to. And it's important for every one of us to realize that we have a choice. You can choose your growth. You have a choice regarding your life. You don't like the way you look, you have a choice. You are a result of the choices that you have made. I am a result of the choices I had made. So I suffered a loss, but I did not wallow in my loss. You cannot control the losses that will happen to your life. You can only control how you react towards them. So after I lost my car and I lost my camera, what was I going to do? Where would I start from? I went and I sought out knowledge. So I went for this conference and 3 speakers, real estate billionaire, real estate billionaire, real estate billionaire. I looked at all of them, and that's something that another core part of my belief. If they don't have 2 heads, they don't have 2 heads. If they can do it, I can do it. I don't get jealous of success. I get inspired by success. So I look at someone doing well and I tell myself, in Nigeria, you did not steal. You didn't scam anybody. And you became wealthy. And you are adding value to people's lives. This is the kind of life I want. And I went to meet the person. How did you do it? You must become intentional about it. People send me messages, I want you to mentor me. You don't know what you want. You have to, what exactly do you want? I remember my first meeting with my mentor, and I sat down with him and I told him, this real estate that you are doing, I want to do it. How do I start? What do I do? And then we just started gisting. Then he mentioned what he did with Dr. Olumide Emmanuel. That when he started real estate, he started by selling Dr. Olumide Emmanuel's products. And he told me, I should do a course from Dr. Olumide Emmanuel. I left, and in a week, I bought Dr. Olumide Emmanuel's Wealth Creation Masterclass and Real Estate Masterclass. And I reported back to my mentor, sir, I have bought the book. Sir, I have bought the program. I have attended the class. You choose your growth. You don't give excuses for what is not happening. You tell yourself how you want it to happen. And there are 1,000,001 excuses in life. I don't take excuses. I don't. I choose my growth. I choose my growth. I went into real estate last year. And when I finished the conversation with my mentor, I told him, I said, I don't want to be a realtor. I know it is easier. I know it's an easier way to start, but I want to do the work. I want to grow the journey. And I want to understand how they do it. So, May last year, I went for Dr. Lumide's Physical Real Estate Executive Masterclass. When I went for that class in May, I had not bought one land by myself. All I was doing was selling other people's land. When I left that place, I told myself, we will buy and sell. You must be intent. What do you want? Set an agenda. Choose your growth. What does growth mean to you? Not that one employer would give you what salary is. I have had conversation with someone that came to meet me to employ him, and he told me how much he wanted to earn. And my conversation was, I like you. You get liver. Now tell me how you can deliver and earn this money. You choose your growth. They gave you a course you don't like. Who says your life has to be determined by that course you don't like? Choose your growth. Your mates have graduated. You are still hoping and praying that ASU calls off strike. Choose your growth. Guess what? I was even thinking it's only students that in undergraduate it affects. Until my friend said that she's doing her master's in Unilag and she doesn't know when they will finish because they are on strike. I always just thought it was, those that are in university as undergraduates. It affects everybody, a lot of people. But what do we do when life happens to us? Odikwa, choose your growth. What are we doing? Last year, we acquired our first estate. Last year, we acquired our second estate. This year, January, I chose my growth. And for you to understand how I choose my growth by attending trainings and programs. So, Dr. Lumide Emmanuel, who is my mentor, I've mentioned his name many times so far, created a group called Billionaires Conclave. And I joined. What do you think that meant? What was I doing? I was choosing my growth. I wanted to become a billionaire. I never reached, mind you. But I will. I will. I have chosen that is my next level of growth. I have chosen that's the next thing I'm going to do. That's the next achievement for me. I have registered for the program and I have stretched myself. Every time I see him, you see me whispering, Oga, I have gone to chew something. He's holding me in the throat like this. He's billionaire. But are we going to get there? We will. Because we have chosen our growth. Is it going to cost you? Yes. Would it involve sacrifice? Yes. But every level of success, everybody here, for everyone watching me right now, where you are might not have been your choice, but where you are going to is your choice. You might not know you are choosing, but you have chosen. Where you are going to is your choice. When you settle, when your mates are reading, when you compromise on your ethics and value, you are choosing. When you take bribe, when you cut corners, when you sleep around, when you cheat, when you steal, when you lie, you're choosing. And they will determine what you become in future. 10 years down the line, somebody would introduce you and they'll be looking for what to say. Or 10 years down the line, somebody is introducing you and they cannot read your portfolio because you have achieved so much because you chose your growth. Whether you like it or not, 50 years time, all of us, if we are still alive, will be extremely old. We will grow. But how well we grow depends on the choices we make. Some of you at 80 will not have teeth. Some of you at 80 will have complete dentition. It depends on the choices you make. What are the determinants? If you want to be healthy at 80, you will eat and live well in your 30s and 40s. You choose your growth. If you want to be able to bend down and stand up in your 80s, you will work out right from your 30s, 40s, 50s. You choose your growth. If you want to live comfortable at 70, You want to travel around the world without calling your brother, your sister, your mother, your father. You make choices now. You do what? You choose your growth. You do what? Nigeria is a blessed country. Nigeria has made many people super successful, but some are super excuse givers. Whether you are successful or a super excuse giver determined by the choices that you made. Today, I want you to stand up on your feet and say, I choose my growth. I choose my growth. I choose my growth. Life doesn't happen to me. I happen to life. Life doesn't happen to me. I am happening to life. I choose my growth. I'll give you one assignment as I go. Design the next 10 years of your life. No matter what it will take you, no matter how hard you think it will be, no matter how ridiculous you think it will look like, just write it down. Choose your growth. Design what the next 10 years will look like and see how it manifests. I want to celebrate with you. A round of applause for yourselves. Thank you.